do come true.
Aw.
Wishes do come true. You are exactly
Do
right, buddy.
come true.
He's been watching our vlog over and over today.
Do come
Super
true.
fun way to relive all the magic, huh, buddy? All right, well, tonight we're talking food.
Ooh.
Specifically,
But
dining with allergies aboard the Disney Wish.
So let's get this ball rolling. Let our friends hop on board and set sail to talk about food on the Disney Wish.
bye, guys.
I gotta know, when can we do this again?
Where did do come true?
So that's from our first vlog dropped this morning.
Yes.
Irene stayed up till
I pretty
way
much
too late.
stayed
She
up
didn't-
all night.
yeah,
I think
you
I
pretty
went
much
to
stayed
bed
up all
around
night.
like 5:30 this morning, and then I had to get up and get this guy to camp. So
Oh,
I'm a
yeah.
little tired.
yes. But the first vlog dropped. Thank you, hun. It's amazing.
Yeah, it was
You
fun
guys
edit.
got to see the
Where did do come true?
yes, you got to see the
The wish
intro
ceremony,
when you
yeah.
get on the Wish.
Yeah.
And
Wishes
you
do
got-
come true.
And you do get to see they called out our name. They're
They
like
did. Who did they
Yes.
introduce us as, Wally?
the wonderful.
The
A wonderful family. Yep.
Where did
Aw.
you come true?
And so Wally has the wand. They hand these out as you get onto the ship, and you're kind of
We do.
Yeah.
mulling about there in the atrium.
How many people do it?
We each have
We
one.
each have a wand, don't we, buddy?
No, but all do it. At the
Okay,
same
Right.
ready?
Where
Wishes
do
do
come
come true. All right. Well, Wally wanted to say hi to
Yep.
Hi,
everybody.
everybody.
We'll have him on next week
Yeah.
talking about the kids club.
Mhm.
I'm giving you a little bit of heads up. Tomorrow dropping is an exclusive video from the Marvel Superhero Academy.
Yes. The challenge of the Taskmaster. So
And that's not Wally. Wally's not the Taskmaster. Okay, this is
I think
And-
you're.
I
I don't know.
I
I'm
know.
probably the
You're
Taskmaster.
probably the
honestly.
And
it's the challenge
and
of Irene.
I wasn't able to see that. So
No, because they blocked it off, and
They
we left him
did.
in the kids club. So
You didn't. Well, we invited him to come. We said, "Come meet us if you want to," and he
Yep.
didn't.
no,
He wanted to stay and play in the kids club.
and
so.
I was
Yeah.
none of you hold it, but if they didn't have so many meals playing, you would have heard it happening.
let's
Okay,
say
well,
let's say hi to
yeah,
everyone.
yeah,
So
yeah,
John
yeah,
Surfbum has
yeah,
popped in.
yeah.
He says hi,
Yeah,
Wally.
yeah,
Hey, buddy.
yeah.
Yeah.
You say hi to John.
Say
And
hi,
I will give you a hint. They did play my song in the show.
John. They did.
His
didn't
song.
they?
Yeah.
And look
But-
at Paul and Stacy are blowing you kisses. Mwah!
And guys, they when they were
Got
in
Dawn
there,
from the Hitchhiking Bones in
we
here.
all
Thanks for
had to
hopping in, and of
party
course
with it.
Cherie. Thank you for
Yeah.
hopping
we all
in,
had
joining
to
us
dance
tonight.
party, like, do, 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 do,
All
do,
right, party
do,
animal. You go entertain yourself for a little
do,
bit.
do, do. Before
All right. Well, we are sipping our drink of the day.
Drink of the day cups.
Water.
Yeah.
But you
Maybe
know,
a little more than water. It
Mm.
it has the same color as water. So.
here's my if I have anything other than water, I will
You will
fall
be out.
asleep during the stream. I think I slept 2 hours last night. So
Yeah.
water it is.
Water it is. Okay, so yeah, as premised before with the title and everything, we're talking about the food
Yes.
on the Disney Wish. When we're done, if you haven't seen it yet, go back, watch the video that dropped this morning. Pretty amazing experience getting on the ship that
It
first
was.
day. We talked a little bit about it last time, and a little chaotic. The food situation was a little chaotic, but at the end of the day,
It always is though. And
it always
like
is.
I mean, we'll talk about it more, but we've kind of had this conversation that we've done so many things at Disney, like opening day, like when we went and did Batu on opening day. Food allergies is not always the quickest to come.
No.
I feel like
Yeah.
a lot of times they'll,
Which
you
is
know,
understandable.
It's
'cause
understandable. They're going to have their regular menu and they're
they're
going to
making
perfect
it
that.
fresh.
And then, then they kind of later add on more of those allergy options as they become more and more comfortable with, the regular menu items. So we did not have high expectations. We knew we would be able to eat. We knew that was not going to be an issue at all, that there would be food and we would be able to eat.
We shall dine.
We weren't sure how well we'd be able to eat or what that would look like. But I would say we enjoyed many, many good meals on the Wish. And just in reading, because we have booked some more cruises and reading more and more and kind of going through the troves of discussion boards and blogs and things, I think that all menus have been more limited across the cruise line fleet as things have returned back
Hey,
to
Mom,
regular
thanks for hopping on.
operations. Yes, hi. So I think that's just one thing to be mindful of.
Yeah.
If you have dietary needs and you're sailing right now, things may not be as good as they were in the golden era of, of life. So.
But that's not to be said in full, because the allergy menu is different. And
It is.
And we encountered that on the Wish. And so the chefs on the Wish have really tried to help out as much as they can, and they actually created special dishes on the allergy menu. So I'm going to say it now, and hopefully I'll remember to say it again later. If you don't see something you like on the regular menu, ask for the allergy menu or come back to here, because you might find something different that you want to eat. And the very first restaurant we hit, that's the case.
Yeah, and I mean, to be honest, I don't think we ever looked at the real menus for any of the restaurants.
We didn't know.
Yeah.
No.
I think we only ever looked at the allergy menus. So
Hey, Amy, thanks for hopping on.
Amy. So if you watched our vlog from today with
Yep.
our first day on the ship, the first place we ate was at Marceline Market. We were really excited to try that. So Marceline Market is what has replaced Cabanas aboard the Wish. So if you've sailed on any of the other Disney Cruise Line ships, they have their
Cabanas.
like food
At the
court
tail end of the ship
area
up top.
is Cabanas. And so on the Wish, it's Marceline Market. And so we were really, really excited about that because we just went and visited Marceline, Missouri this year. And so we were just really excited to see like kind of the theming of it and what they were going to do. I don't feel like the food was anything super special. Like it felt pretty standard,
but it was
fare.
fun to have it broken up. And I honestly cannot remember Cabanas to save my life, because I don't remember if we actually made it to Cabanas.
I think we did, but
we'll have to go back. But
and I think there's something to be said for that as
Yeah.
far as a allergy diner
Yep.
aboard Disney Cruise Line, is that sometimes you don't eat at like the kind of big buffet restaurant as much, just because it's not as easy or accessible. But that being said, we headed up to Marceline Market for our first lunch, and we just kind of walked around and looked at all the different food stations. And then I noticed a table behind us had like a person coming and talking to them, and I saw the giant wad of yellow allergy tickets in his hand. So I thought, you know what? I think that's the guy we need to talk to. So we did a tour, kind of looked at what was available, and I grabbed a couple things that I felt pretty comfortable, because my allergies, while I have quite a few allergies, they're a little bit easier to navigate. Mark has a corn allergy, and corn is just really hard because it's hidden in so many things, in sauces and starches, and a lot of times just like marinades. So his is a lot harder. I have gluten. Mark has dairy
and gluten. Yep.
And then corn. And then I have weird ones like celery and peanuts and cashews. But mostly for me, it's gluten. And the rest of them they're pretty easy. Celery can be a hard one.
Mm-hmm. So step one, and I think I said in the video, is that, take a stroll around
Yeah.
Marceline Market, see what's there,
Mhm.
and then just don't even waste your time talking to anyone unless it's to see
Well,
who's the person,
'cause
who's
you
the allergy.
asked
Because
at
I
a couple
originally went up to a
places.
couple places and they're like, no, we don't do anything with food allergies. We
Yeah.
don't know anything.
They are like, we don't know.
Um,
And even I asked, they have like a really nice Market Fresh area and it had salads. And I asked like, what's in the salad? And the response I got was, I don't know. Do you know what's in the salad? I'm not sure. So,
Yeah.
so that was a little frustrating, I guess. And I ended up grabbing a salad that did end up having farro in it, and I can't have that because it's a glutinous grain.
Yep.
So luckily I didn't eat it because I was, looking at it and was like, that looks a little grainy.
And I had this up before. Amy
Yeah.
said she only did cabanas for lunch and breakfast,
Yeah.
which very common. What was interesting, and you mentioned it down here, some of the themed restaurants had regular lunch offerings. We didn't even make it. That wasn't even on our
No.
radar.
Yeah,
I didn't even
well,
until I got home and I was
yeah.
watching some other videos. I was like, oh, we could have gone down to 1923 for lunch.
Yeah. Well, and
Cruise was 3 days.
Yeah.
No, 4 days, 3 nights.
yeah, it was a 3-night
Yep.
cruise. So that contributes to your comment of like never going to other places. I mean,
You
we
just
were
don't have time.
honestly, we were lucky if we got breakfast or lunch most days.
You get-
Because
If
we
you
were
don't know
so
us, we do not
busy.
wake up early usually.
Well,
so.
I don't think we went to bed before 3:30 in the morning a single night. And then we slept in the first day,
Yep.
Which ended up giving me a lot of anxiety because I was like, oh my gosh, we got to get up.
Yeah.
We got things to do. But we made it up to breakfast like 5 minutes before they closed. So Wally was able to get some things, but we did not.
Hey, Victoria, thanks for hopping in.
So food is not always a priority to us because we're like, go, go, go. We want to do all the things.
But it should be because it gets tough.
When we get hangry, though, we're
Yeah.
not nice.
No.
So it's kind of our like struggle.
A lot of people, Dawn, are booking back to back. So they're doing
Yeah.
the 3-night and then the 4-night.
Yeah.
So you get a 7-night cruise. I mean, you're paying through the nose for that kind of
Paying
thing.
through the
but
nose, and it's risky just because of COVID.
with COVID.
Right
So
now.
until they remove the COVID restrictions, I actually wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Because you're
There
probably
was
going to get COVID. on
quite
this
a
ship.
few people that did 3-night, got off, tested positive, and couldn't get back
Yeah.
on. So
Yeah.
for me right now, doing a back-to-back would be way too stressful until they lift the
Yeah.
COVID testing requirement. So
It's not a
that's the only
commentary
thing I
on the
would say.
requirement. It's a functional commentary on it's risky. You're getting on a ship.
it's
COVID exists. If they
stressful.
will not let you back on with COVID, well, then you're not going on the second half
But
of your
3
trip.
nights is like definitely it's not enough
No.
at all, especially when it's a brand new ship and you're trying to take it all in. So we never made it down to any of the like sit down dining other than on our last day.
Yep.
And we'll talk about that too because we have a personal recommendation on what dining you should do.
Yep.
So we navigated Marceline in that
Yep.
way. I took a plate. Went and got a different salad because that salad obviously was not
Basically, go
okay.
find your allergy person at Marceline.
Yep, and then Mark
Find the
went-
guy with all the tags or
Yeah.
the girl with all the tags, and
Now Wally went to the kids station. He got
Yep,
chicken tenders. He got
tenders.
mac and cheese,
Yep.
and he got 2 desserts, and then went and got a 3rd dessert. So he knew how to live the cruise life.
Yeah.
He was like priorities on the dessert, and I don't blame him at all. So it took about 20-30 minutes for your food to come. So that's the one thing, and we're used to that. That's not unique to Disney
No.
Cruise Line. It's not unique to a brand new
no, I mean it's
ship.
actually you
It's
guys.
pretty
If you watch our
standard.
videos, that's why we do so many sit down dinings because it
Mhm.
takes us the equal amount of time to do
To
a quick
sit down.
service as it does sit down. So
It
I'd
does.
rather be sitting in AC while I wait for my food to be made.
And if you've had the pleasure of dining with us in the parks,
You know that.
this is true. It takes
A long
an
time.
extra 20-30 minutes for us to eat anywhere.
Mhm.
But it's just what we're used to. So that was not surprising. I actually felt like it was pretty fast, all things
Yeah.
considered.
Yeah.
So Wally had his lovely kids.
See if I can
Kids
do this
fair.
this time without
See, there we
breaking
go.
things.
So he had chicken tenders and mac and cheese. He was like a mac and cheese connoisseur on
Yep.
this cruise. That was like his thing. He sampled mac and cheese across the board.
Just click through
The one that he loved the most was, what was the mac and cheese he really loved?
1923.
I think it was the 1923 mac
was,
and cheese
yeah.
that took the win.
Yeah. So you all saw that on the video.
Yeah.
Oh, Victoria, sorry you got COVID. Yeah, it's everywhere right now. So
Yeah.
be safe, get feeling better.
We had
Yep.
it back in May.
Mhm.
And I think that was our saving grace of the summer with travel, because we
had it.
We
We
didn't
had the
get
current
sick,
variant
and we
and-
did a lot of travel. And so I think that having it in May, we, paid our dues, as sadly it has come to be. So Wally had a nice meal. Mark got his food about 20, 30 minutes later. I don't know if we even took a photo of it. But he brought for me a plate piled full of shrimp and crab.
Family lunch, romantic family
Yes.
lunch with a bunch of
Yes.
screaming children.
Not really, though. There really wasn't.
No, truly, there were
mean-
250 kids on the ship
Yeah, in
in total. So of 3,000
um,
individuals, that's a minuscule amount.
Yeah.
That was the DVC cruise.
um,
Do not expect that on normal occasions. But yeah, so that was Marceline Market.
So that was Marceline Market. And so you got, when he brought your food,
Yep.
he brought you, it was like asparagus, a big chunk of beef.
Big chunk.
It was not anything awesome
No,
by
no,
any means. I don't think it was
yeah.
like at all.
It was, here's the
close to
stuff
our
we're
favorite meal.
we're sure didn't get commingled.
But it was interesting because he asked, like, can I just go get, some beef from one of the stands? And the guy told him, like, nope, nothing is safe.
Yep.
It all has like marinades, and it's like has cross contamination, gluten.
Yep.
So he basically just brought Mark food, and he was really quick about it. And then he did
Yeah.
bring us some desserts as well. So that was really nice. And they had your cookies that you could have.
Yes.
So,
Yep.
better experience and be our guest, where they said,
I will announce be our
Sorry.
guest dessert options until I'm dead. I don't know. Those guys fail miserably. I'm not paying for that meal ever again.
yeah, that was pretty.
I shouldn't have paid for that meal to begin with. What are you talking about? But so the Marceline Market guy, again, go find an allergy guy or girl, because they're going to introduce you to the process. And
Yep.
so the first thing he did was like, okay, I'm bringing dessert. And then I want you to order your meal
Yeah.
for your first restaurant tonight. Where are you at? We knew we were at, looked at the navigator, 1923.
we knew what table
We
we
knew
were.
what table we were.
So he actually brought us the menus for 1923.
Well, no, so he didn't bring the menu. He had us load them up in the phone. And
okay.
herein lies the difference in doing that.
Mhm.
So you can do that,
Mhm.
but no, you're not going to get the exact allergy menu. You're going to get what the app has shown is okay. So I've loaded up here. These are courtesy of Disney Food Blog. They actually had the intelligence to snap screenshots
I
of
will
the app.
say that's the hardest thing. Like, we captured a lot.
All vloggers
A
beg,
lot.
borrow, and plead with each other
Yeah.
at this point, because we all were not sleeping one bit trying to capture every
all of
bit
it.
of this ship.
Yeah.
And it is difficult at best. And so we've got to,
So there's definitely things that were like, did we get a picture of that? I mean, and
No.
that was the hardest thing about
Yeah.
boarding, is it just,
Yeah.
and I said that in our vlog, is it felt very chaotic,
Mhm.
because you're like, you had to get on, and then you had to go get in line for hyperspace, and then we ended up having to go change an appointment that we had set, because that was the only time we could get into hyperspace, and and tour the kids club and do all these things, and then you got to go check in for your drill, and then it's the sail away party, and so even having time to go get food felt like chaotic.
so this is what the app looks like. This is what
Mhm.
you can go to each restaurant on
And
the
see
and
what it
see what they have.
says.
There's little things to click across the top. I've circled the items that are on the official allergy menu. So this is very
Right.
interesting to me. We actually never did hold the 1923 official
Because
allergy
it was
menu.
our first
'cause
dinner.
it's our
So
first dinner.
so he was really wonderful that he
Yes.
had us place our order for dinner at lunch. He was like, where are you dining tonight? Let's get your order in.
Yep.
We're about to have like a whole kitchen team meeting. I want to get you guys all set so you're ready to go for dinner. So that was really, really nice. but we never saw the physical menu, which
So we just loaded up on the app, saw the GF, and okay, that's at least the direction to head, because we know that starts to solve some of the problems.
So that's what you got was
Yep.
the fennel bartlett pear and
what was very
hot
interesting
soy
is they left
salad.
off the manchego cheese,
They
as I would
did.
expect. If you claim a dairy allergy, they're going to
And
leave
so
off.
this is one thing I do remember when we went on our fantasy cruise,
Yep.
because I've always compared allergy dining in the parks to it. When we did that cruise, I remember that it was real intelligent, and they've taken this away now as I'm thinking about it, that you would set up a profile with your individual dining allergies that was like unique to you. And it's one of the things that's always bothered me about allergy dining in the parks is you go in and you make a reservation, you can put allergies on there, and but it's just for the whole dining party. So then they have to come and say, okay, what are your allergies? And I always thought that was so great when we went on our cruise, because it was like, here was Mark's allergies, here are my allergies. And so I think when Mark got his salad, they didn't do manchego cheese because he has a dairy allergy, but they also didn't put the walnuts on it because I have a nut allergy. And so just kind of blanketed the whole party versus being unique to the person. But our hostess, our waitress, server,
Our head server,
she was wonderful, and she brought Mark an entire bowl
of cubed manchego cheese.
So that was really nice. And she actually did again the next night.
Yeah, she's like, well, I brought this to you last night.
I know you like this, so I just thought I'd bring you it. So that was really nice. So,
but what was very interesting is that, and I can't remember what you got, honey.
I think I ordered the corn chowder too, but I didn't get it. And I don't know why, if it just was lost in the order or what.
What was interesting is I wrote this under here. So the corn chowder soup was not on the official allergy menu.
Yeah.
And instead it was an asparagus, leek, and pea soup with prosciutto, which is interesting. I mean, in the same camp. And so this starts to show you where the chef team is taking what they have resources and creating something special for the allergy menu. So once again, if you don't want corn chowder, you don't want tomato soup, well, there is an asparagus, pea, and leek soup too that you didn't even get notified of on the official menu, but it's there.
So, I mean, I will say that
it's awesome that they're doing that.
Yeah, and all the sit-down dining, we got to try interesting, unique dishes. It didn't feel like we were deprived of choice. All the food that we did receive was great. I mean, Marceline was not our favorite, but it's also, I mean, I don't think Cabanas is that great either. I mean, if you load up on like seafood and stuff, it's great, but it's not like, I think there's certain things on the menu that maybe, are really great, but it's not the best food on the ship by any means. But we absolutely loved our dinner at 1923. It was a wonderful start to the cruise. I was very excited that was our first dinner in our rotation, and I was really excited that we got the Walt Disney room. That was really cool.
Wally's plate was really cool.
Wally's plate was really cool. It had Steamboat Willie on it. Every single restaurant, the kids' menus were super cute, really well themed. And one of the things I do love about cruising in general is if you go back to Wally's meal, you can see he's got his steak and mashed potatoes. And I actually think that was an amazing cooked steak. All of his steaks were so good. They were perfect. But I think that I think this was like a surf and turf. I think this came with steak and shrimp. And I was like, he does not eat anything in the sea because he's an advocate for all ocean creatures. So just do steak and mashed potatoes. It came with a little yogurt parfait. So very much like his favorite meal at Hollywood Brown Derby. And then they also had mac and cheese as another entree option. And so I just asked, could he do a side of mac and cheese? And that's what I really love about cruising is it's
'Cause
like nothing's off the table. If
you betcha you can.
if
You want mac and
3
cheese?
appetizers, if you want 2
It's coming.
entrees, if you want to, get 3 sides, whatever, there's no additional cost to it. There's no, we can't do that. We can't sub that. We can't change that. Like no is never the answer.
So I don't even know where the steak came from, because I'm looking at, this is once again, I'm looking at the menu for the restaurant
Mhm.
and I'm not seeing a steak in here.
I don't know. It was on the
Oh no, here it
kids-
is.
yeah,
Grilled
I
beef
would
tender.
say,
Yeah. Okay.
There
it is.
There was on his.
Yep.
But that was the nice thing too, is like he's a fairly picky eater. Yes. Fish are friends, not food. Yes. Wally aligns with the Bruce
We'll leave that up
philosophy.
What did you say?
Fish are friends, not food.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ocean Red.
Or
Or
stingrays.
stingrays. I
I
know.
will be that.
You will be mad if anybody eats a stingray. So I can't remember what I was saying
Sorry, I'm all over the
about the
board.
kids menu. I don't know. Anyway, dining on a cruise ship is wonderful because nothing's off the table. They also brought him Shirley Temples every night, and I love that they
Yep.
always do something special for the kids. And it was loaded full of cherries. Like they make a me and Shirley
It was
Temple.
an opulent Shirley Temple.
Yes, it was. So I had the ahi tuna,
Yep.
Which was super fancy, but it was really, really delicious. And it was just like an interesting assortment of flavors. And I think that's what we really enjoyed about 1923 the most, is just kind of how exotic things were and how thoughtful all the flavor blends were.
It looked amazing.
Everything was
Oh, look at that.
plated beautifully.
That was a beautiful
Yeah,
appetizer.
It was delicious.
And that was on the main appetizer menu. But as I shared with Irene when we were prepping for this tonight, they also had a gluten-free potato gnocchi butternut squash sauce.
I totally would have.
You would have totally gone
done
for that.
Yeah.
But again, because we didn't see the actual allergy menu,
Mhm.
also note that's not on the regular menu.
Yeah.
Usually I could find something that was close to it. Here's a tricolor tortellini. That's kind of in the same
Yeah.
camp, but
that's what's fun, is that we will sail again on the Wish. And when we do, we'll have different things to try. And I'm sure by then too, the menu will change and they'll rotate things in and out. So,
well, and I'm curious how much of this special stuff will be changed out,
Right. Yeah. They do rotate things around, and I don't know. 1923 I thought was wonderful. Your steak was perfect.
You heard me say it in the film at no less than
I think
10
you said
times.
amazing 15 times.
Oh,
That
there's
was
my
your
salad, which I've never had this type of salad before. I was like, I didn't expect that, but it was very
it was
good.
really, really good.
That
That was my salmon.
there's your salmon.
It was delicious, and it was like a parsnip, kind of like a mashed potato, but with parsnips. It was really, really good. And your steak.
Yeah, I'll let you go on.
We tried to get a good picture of it.
Yeah.
So that was Mark's steak, and it was perfect.
It was perfect.
Beautiful cut of meat, cooked
Yeah.
perfectly. First night of dining, everything was wonderful. Our cocktails were delicious. I had a straight up martini with extra olives, and it was very delicious.
And I had a great glass of South African deep red.
Yeah.
It's like a
It
Cabernet.
was wonderful.
Yeah.
You did ask about the Lillet experience.
Yes.
And
Our beverage server didn't know what it was.
yeah. So, and that's
Like,
again
this was
to
a
be
shakedown
expected
cruise.
when you go and do anything
New.
right away out of the gate. You're going to get that because they're still learning. And I will say that was the one thing that our whole server team, they were really gracious in that. And they really, really wanted feedback.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it, but the second night when we went to Marvel, Mark's steak was overcooked.
Yep.
And he just was honest. They said, "How's your steak?" He said, it's a little overdone. And I thought they were going to cry.
I did think they were going to cry.
They offered 10 times, like, please, 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 can we please bring you
And
another
that was
steak?
the night they
please?
decided to ramrod pirate night into.
Yeah.
So we were already
were
like
like,
behind the
we're,
eight ball.
we're fine. He's like, it's edible. It's fine. I'm just giving you
Like,
feedback.
hey,
so you
let,
know,
let
but
the kitchen know,
you know,
like, don't put this anywhere near any
but
more
they,
heat.
I mean, they were visibly upset
Yeah.
that he did not have a perfect meal. They wanted everything to just be perfect for you, and they really wanted that feedback. And so, you know, while they didn't know everything and they were still learning some things, I can't really complain.
Yep.
And it probably just saved us $50 on not getting
It
the
probably did.
Lilith experience.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Other items they had on the allergy menu, we did not get this, but the lobster salad.
that looked really good too.
Yep.
I
know
thought
you
about
were-
getting that.
We were pondering that, and then obviously, you know, they can slow roast a chicken breast and,
Mhm.
and get you that. So, but what's interesting is like this salmon fillet,
Uh-huh.
you know, was not on the allergy menu. I mean, you know, this is a sirloin steak. I had a filet mignon steak.
Mhm.
So it's just interesting to see.
Was it filet mignon or was it ribeye?
This was filet mignon.
That was-
Filet
okay.
mignon. Yeah, it
Okay.
was.
Delicious. So
Oops, I'm trying to. I've got too many
I know,
monitors
we've
here.
got 3
Honey,
monitors
this is
going.
this is my beautiful filet.
Uh,
Okay, so that was 1923,
mhm.
right?
Yes.
So I'll go back to that.
So that was our first night of dining. And then that night, they brought us the allergy menu for Avengers because that was our dinner the next night.
Yep. First
And
time actually
so-
seeing and holding
Mhm.
one of the official allergy menus.
And so we got to put in our order for the next night, which is typical. And I think that was our experience when we were on the fantasy too. They would always take our order the night
we
before.
totally skipped over dessert.
Oh yeah, we did.
You didn't
in
even get any
1923.
pictures of it. We got it on the vlog.
It's on the vlog, but you know,
Um,
I had like it was like almonds, grapefruits, cake.
and once again, it's not on this menu.
Yeah. So
It's not even
I think
actually. It
that's
wasn't even
like-
on the allergy menu here.
but I mean, I will say this in general when it comes to dining on cruise lines and doing activities on cruises. As a planner, it's really hard for me because you can't see anything until you are on the ship.
Pod at the same pod.
Nice, buddy.
Awesome. He's
Keep
working,
working.
on some Lego building in the other room.
I don't know.
So yeah, I mean that is the hard thing is that you don't
get any details
you
until
don't
you get
even
on the cruise.
know
And
what
because this was a
your-
brand new cruise ship, none of
Right.
what we're giving you was out there.
Yeah. You don't even know what your dining rotation is.
No, you don't.
And that's hard because you know I had an outfit planned for each meal based on the experience. Like 1923, we wanted to like dress
look
up.
nice.
And then Avengers, we wanted to wear Avenger stuff. And Arendelle, we wanted to wear like kind of frozen Nordic-y looking outfits. And so that was really hard.
Yeah.
Not knowing.
Not knowing anything.
But again, and you know, like Don said, attention to detail and guest experience, absolutely. And I think that
So your dessert is not even on the official allergy menu. So it's not on
So-
the printed. It's not on the app menu.
You
It's not
just
on the
gotta,
official
like,
allergy menu.
let go and know
Let
that
it go.
let go
Let
and
it
know that you will
go.
be taken care of. You will
Right.
be taken care of. There
You've
will be
told them
Mhm.
what your issues are, and they have phenomenal chefs.
and we
on this
did
ship.
not. So we did not put our food allergies on file prior to
We did not.
cruising. Because there was nowhere to do it in the app.
Yeah, you had to call a special number,
And
and
be-
it listed all of our allergies pretty much
Mm-hmm.
like
It's
as one
saying-
they can
yeah,
handle.
yeah.
Here's the ones we
They're
can
like,
handle.
these are the common allergies that we will have addressed in menu offerings. If you have anything additional or concerns,
them a
you can call. So
So we did not do that. This is all just
Um,
flying, with what we've been handed.
so
Since we're at stopping point,
Yeah.
Dawn, we have not been to Discovery
That's not
Cove
Dawn.
or
Stacy.
Stacy, thank you. Oh my gosh, Disney romantics. We've not been to Discovery
We have
Cove,
not, but we did swim with stingrays on Castaway Key.
and we've contemplated doing it. I think the cost is ish prohibitive.
We aren't big ocean faring sea creature people.
You'll get to see that.
Our child is.
Not us. Although
Not
I did
us so
snorkel
much.
for the first time in my life. That
And
was
you loved
interesting.
it.
And I did love it.
I was amazed.
Floating in the ocean with goggles.
We're learning to embrace it
Yes.
through
My
Wally's
child has
love
brought so
of
much
it.
to my life.
Well, that's what children do. They push
They push
they
you in
push you out of your
directions
comfort zone, and they
never
teach
knew
you
you
to
would
see
go.
new things in the world, and it's one of the most wonderful pieces of being a parent. And
Yes.
I just love all the adventure that Wally brings
Yeah.
to our life. So you gotta kind of let go of that and know that you will be taken care of.
Yeah.
But the next night we had Avengers.
Oh.
Did our order ahead of time.
Yep.
So,
So here's an official allergy menu.
they did the ceviche.
Yep.
I didn't even realize, and I don't know, probably the chili lime was what turned me off. But I kind of wish I would have tried the vegetable pot stickers because they were gluten-free.
And they're not on the regular menu. There's
Yeah.
no pot stickers
So
anywhere on the regular
That
menu.
is only on the allergy
Yes.
menu, but not on the menu in the app.
But not on the menu in the app.
So
So here we go.
There-
Here we're at Avengers.
there are definitely
And-
definitely pieces of it. And
and
again,
the salmon marked gluten-free was not on the
so
allergy menu.
I'm very interested to see what our experience is going to be when we go on the magic and the wonder.
Mhm.
Because I don't fault this to the Disney Wish and being a new ship.
I think
this
this is the
is-
new way they're going.
This is in general a hot mess of Disney's systems of having a printed allergy menu that has some things and then something in the app that has some things but not all things. I don't really understand why they don't just make it easier.
I did order the
But-
pot stickers. Corn killed it off.
Yeah,
So
you couldn't have it,
I couldn't have it.
which wasn't surprising.
I was not surprised. I really loved our server team. I'm like, if you can do it, here's what
Yeah.
I want.
Yeah.
And if not, yeah, we'll move on from there, whatever. So, but yeah, so obviously it's not corn free.
Well, that was the thing. We would just ask, like, if you can do this. And Mark's
You only
was
can
always a
have
surprise.
You only can have one thing. though.
Well, he's got Lego brain. But it was always a surprise with Mark, as it normally is with his food allergies, with having a corn allergy. We never know what we're gonna get, if it's gonna work, if it's not gonna work, what it's gonna look like. So, we would just say, like, hey, if you can do this, that'd be great. If not, maybe try this or surprise me. And they were always really wonderful about, always bringing something that was delicious and satisfying.
Yes,
and
I think that was the night I got the second salad with more. I think they brought me the tomato heirloom
yep, you
salad
got the tomato heirloom salad
with more manchego.
Yeah.
So that's how I made up for
Yeah.
not getting the pot stickers, which was super nice of
Yep.
them.
Do you have another photo? No, that's the wrong one. This one.
That one. You got to go up there. Yeah, there you go.
So then this was some
That's
of
the same menu.
Yeah, it's the same one.
Keep going on.
Whoa, here we go.
There you go. There's the backside. The backside of what menu?
Yeah, on the backside of menu. So yeah, then they had, let's see, what did you end up getting? Oh, you did the ribeye.
I did the ribeye. So remember, this was the Marvel
Mhm.
night. I was waffling between the pork chop and the ribeye. I probably should have done the pork
Yeah.
chop.
I did the
Um,
scallops.
Yep.
They were both really terrible. I mean, just being
The
honest, it
ribeye was
not-
overcooked. It tasted good,
Yours was overdone,
but it was way
and
overdone.
mine was very cold and rubbery. And I
Yeah.
think what happens, and I'm trying to remember, that wasn't even the dinner that we were like late to. We were pretty much seated right on time for that dinner.
Yeah, no, it was Arendelle
Arendelle,
that
we were like late.
we were walking in as they're
Um,
singing.
I mean, it felt to me like our food had been pre-prepared
Yep.
and probably sat out.
Yeah.
Like his
my
ribeye had
steak was
sat under
placed
a
under
heat
a
lamp.
and it just continued to
and
roast.
My scallops just kind of got cold sitting there. So
So again, I pulled up the comparison, between the pork chop, which was on the menu, to the ribeye, which was not anywhere
Mhm.
on this menu. So here, once again, if you're looking at this menu, you're like, I really don't want pork chop. I really don't want schnitzel. I
Mhm.
really don't want a turbo
even
filet.
as a non-allergy diner.
Yeah. They
if
had
you're,
ribeye.
if you're looking at the menu and you're like, nothing's really
Yeah.
doing it for me, ask.
Now, also, okay, and this is causing me to question. I wonder if the ribeye came from the Arendelle kitchen because it was the same ribeye.
It's possible.
I wonder if that's the case.
Well, and that may also
That
be
makes
possible.
actually that makes a lot of sense now. I
in
just thought
why
of
it
that.
was maybe a little overcooked. And,
Yeah.
you know, so take that for what it is.
Well, and know that if you're
Mhm.
going to order something that's like specially listed here, it might be coming from somewhere on the ship.
It's true.
That actually might be the reason for that. So
Yeah.
I might have been better served going with the pork chop
It's true.
on this one.
Yeah.
Next time,
Next time.
if we make it back to Marvel.
We didn't try any cocktails or anything at Marvel.
Partially because we brought on 4 bottles of wine, and
That was the day that
For
I
a-
was like,
for a 3-night
Mark,
cruise, we brought
why
on-
did you bring 4 bottles of wine on a 3-night cruise? Like, we are not going to be able to drink all of this. But, you know, that's Mark.
That's how I roll, people.
You send him to a liquor store and he will always come back with at
They
least
say
2
you
more
can
bottles than
bring
you
on
said
4
you should
bottles. I'm bringing them on.
get. So that was a lesson learned. I don't think we'll ever do that again. And like,
Well, for a 4-night or 3-night.
yeah, even for a
If
4-night.
it's a 5-night or 6-night,
then maybe.
then maybe.
But I will say, like,
We just need 2 or 3
when
more
we
people.
did our 7-night cruise,
Couldn't bring any wine on for Wally.
we didn't bring when we did our 7 cruise on the Fantasy, we didn't bring anything.
No.
And so I think on this one we're like, let's bring it. It'll save us some cost. But then we felt like, you know, we really can't get like a cocktail at dinner or go to as many lounges because we have all this wine in our room and we were flying home. We weren't going to bring it off. So, I mean, I think that's something to think about.
I think we've now confirmed that the scallops as well
Uh-huh.
are a non-menu item.
Yeah.
They're down here.
So that may also contribute.
That
to
might
why
be
our
it, guys.
Avengers
Yeah.
meal was.
Yeah, we both did non-menu items,
Mhm.
and I bet you they brought them in from outside kitchens
Probably.
on the ship.
It was not.
It was not
It
good.
wasn't good.
It was not good.
It was a very disappointing meal.
Yeah.
The thing I will say about the themed dining. So 1923 is beautiful. Like the ambiance is great.
Spend time in that room. The one thing
Yeah.
I regret is I did not spend enough time inside of 1923.
Mhm.
And I did not even try to fight my way into the Roy side, which was slightly different. There's a little bit of
the
differences
thing I will
between
say
the
that
two.
was disappointing to me is
Oh,
we
yes.
were very, very, very excited about 1923, and you know we've done
Walt Disney Company was founded.
and we've
1923.
done Hollywood and Burbank and
Mhm.
gone to like some of Walt's favorite restaurants that he ate at, and we
Yeah.
love that like old
And that was none
1920s
of
Hollywood,
this.
and it just it had the vibe of it, but then
It
all
had
of
that Art
the
Nouveau or whatever that style is.
but then all of the like artwork and things was
Animation
modern.
and modern. Yeah.
There was some things that were like, early Disney days, but we were sitting in like the Beauty and the Beast section,
Mhm.
which was beautiful and it was cool to see, but it wasn't 1923 like old Hollywood.
Yep.
And so that was really confusing to me versus like if it had been kind of like
Old Hollywood.
historical Disney history, that would have been much more interesting to me. So that was maybe like my disappointment in 1923. And then
But it's a great restaurant to get dressed up at. Look
it's
nice.
great. And then Avengers, the show was great. It
Good
was
show.
hysterical. Paul Rudd is fantastic.
That's some great Paul Rudd.
And I'm sure most of you have already kind of seen that. But the show, the concept, everything.
Yes.
Yeah, they just
no
needed
old photo. They had
No.
one old photo of Walt on the Walt side and one old photo of Roy
Yeah.
on the Roy side.
It was just kind of
That was it.
strange.
It's very strange.
Like I just didn't fully grasp what they were
Yeah.
trying to do.
Yeah.
But the Avengers dinner, the show was great. It was super fun. Really fun storyline. They brought in some good cruise humor. Like it was great.
Integrated the ship so much so that Wally wanted to run
my gosh,
out of
yeah.
his seat. We're not going to give away any spoilers.
gosh.
You can go watch
I
other
don't- do
people.
you- Yeah, well, yeah. So there's a whole There's a scene
battle.
that happens
There's
on
a
the
battle.
ship.
Of course, there's a battle. This is
Right.
Marvel, honey. There's
Yeah.
a battle. That's not a spoiler. There's a battle.
So
And it happens on the ship.
when dinner was done and we were getting ready to leave, Wally's like, "We need to hurry," and we're like, "What? What are we hurrying for? Like, it's fine, honey. We got lots of time." And he's like, "No, we need to get up on deck right now and see if the
battle.
the chaos
cleaned
of
it
the
up yet."
battle has been cleaned up yet." And it was so they did a great job
Yep.
because Wally was very into the show. I will say that we were really lucky with a kid. Our server was amazing. She actually moved us tables for
I'm
that
just
dinner.
gonna click through some of the other pictures while you're talking, so I can see the menus.
Yeah, she was amazing because for that dinner in particular,
Yep.
she moved us seats because she knew that we had a little one with us. And so she moved us to a table that had
Again, the ship was only 2/3 to 3/4 full.
Yeah. But she moved us to a table that had a great view of the screen so we could watch the show, but also was right on the aisle. So, and I'm sure
And
you
right
guys
where
have
the
all seen it.
characters
Yeah. At
stop.
the end, when there are Marvel people
Walking
that come
around.
in, Wally
Paul
was,
Rudd.
yeah, Paul Rudd definitely was there.
It was definitely Paul Rudd.
Definitely.
I want to point this out too. On the regular menu, they had a flourless chocolate beetroot cake, which is not listed on the allergy menu and doesn't indicate allergies.
Well, there's a lot of inconsistencies.
Interesting.
But it's okay.
It's all interesting.
But yeah, he was right on the aisle, so we got to interact with the characters. He got to interact with the servers. They brought around like the big giant props. Of course, then Wally had to have a Mickey ice cream bar for dessert because he got to like take a little bite out of a giant one. There's my cake from 1923.
Oh, we did get pictures of it.
Yeah.
Sorry, we skipped on.
This is all over the place.
Well, no, it's because we had to. It's the menus and yeah. Okay, so
You
there's
made
the,
it too complicated.
I did not make this.
That was Wally's
That's
brownie
Wally's,
sundae.
Yep,
That was my cake.
yep. And there was my brownie with chocolate ice
Pretty
cream.
much you got a brownie every night for dinner.
Pretty much, which was okay.
It was fine. I mean, it was great.
Again, it's way more than I ever got at.
Yeah.
What the heck is chocolate soil? Did I skip past that?
Oh, was that a menu item?
Yeah, it's a menu item.
Oh, yeah, right there. It's probably like cookie crumbs or something.
Where is it?
Milk chocolate soil. Wakanda flourless chocolate beetroot cake has beetroot cake, pepper cream, and then milk chocolate soil. So I don't know. It's magic Disney.
We couldn't get it.
it.
I'm guessing it's chocolate flakes. If I
Yeah.
had to guess. This
This
was
I will say that was like
Marvel. So
I think one of
Wakanda
the
and-
things that people were disappointed with in Marvel, it wasn't like super themed food. I think they tried to make it so.
Well,
and
yeah,
they
you got like we're gonna
they
give you a
throw
chocolate
Wakanda
cake.
in front of it,
Wakanda
um,
chocolate cake.
but it wasn't maybe as themed as it could have been.
Pim ice cream
um,
sundae.
But I think that that's like, it's also kind of the cruise environment of them wanting to make it this kind of upscale dining experience. So I think that that is partly where that comes from, is that it's like they're still trying to give you an elegant dinner aboard a cruise ship, versus it being like too
Marvelized.
like colorful.
Well, and it's nowhere near like if you look at the Pim's Test Kitchen in California Adventure, which
Yeah.
we've not been to, so I
Yeah.
can't compare it. But that's where they've done a lot of. Thank you.
That's where they've done. Maybe
That's where
some
they've done a lot of more playing with the food,
Mhm.
playing with the food sizes and all that. I mean,
Yeah.
they didn't do any of that. They still left it. Yeah, load that up. Because we gotta show pictures of your food.
So I did get the potato soup here, or Wally did. Wally got the potato soup. I forgot. He tried the potato soup. He really liked that.
Yep.
And then I had the ceviche,
Yep.
which was good. And that was Wally's little dinner. Go back to Wally's dinner.
What?
There you go.
Yeah.
Again, like even the kids menu was kind of boring. Like it was
Like
cheeseburger, and it wasn't a really good looking or great cheeseburger. I don't know. Marvel, to us, the food was the biggest disappointment there.
Yeah.
And then the show was great. But what I was trying to get at is that it very much to us felt like a one and done.
Did.
It was like,
I mean, unless they change the show.
well, and they have
Oops,
said,
sorry, we're doing a little bit of
they have said that one of their
spoiler
like,
alert. Sorry.
pieces of it is that they say now showing this show.
Yeah.
So I do think they're going to rotate it through, but it seems really expensive because you got to pull in all those big name actors to like film multiple Marvel stories. I mean, the magic of it will not be the same when you go and do it again because it's the same thing.
There you go, Don. I know you were talking about the ears, but
So he did that, but I wanted to show when they came around at the end so that the characters do come around. There we go. They bring around the giant props. And so Wally, they brought the ice cream bar to him.
That's a giant ice cream bar.
So then he was like, of course he had to get a Mickey ice cream bar for dessert. But I will say that is one of the fun things if you go to do the Marvel dinner with kids.
Yep.
If you can be on an aisle, that made it extra magical for Wally. So that, I mean, there were, to me, it seemed like there were bad seats in the house at this.
Oh yeah.
Like if you were shoved in a corner,
Yeah.
I just don't think you would have had the same show experience. The desserts were really disappointing here too. Beautiful presentation of this cake, but it tasted like a artificially sweetened dry dough ball.
And I'm trying to remember what
really bad like whipped cream that had just sugar.
I'm trying to remember what this cake was. I can't even. It's probably back on that menu.
I don't know, but yeah, I mean my dessert. You got another variation of a chocolate cake.
Yep.
Which is fine.
They decided that worked, so that's what I got.
Mixed reviews on Avengers. It just wasn't our favorite.
Yeah.
It also was if you're on a 3-night sailing, your second night is when they do pirate night. So in addition to having your regular dinner, they also throw a pirate night in there, which I appreciate and was really wonderful to have. But we wanted to dress up for Marvel. So we did that, ate, sprinted back to our room.
Sprinted because we had late dining.
Changed into pirate gear. Sprinted downstairs to take pictures because all the photographers and they do another round after late dining, but then they were ending and then it was the pirate party. So we like went up to our room, down to take pictures, and then back up to the deck in time to make it up to the pirate party for fireworks. So that was a little bit of an exhausting endeavor. But we wanted to wear Marvel outfits, and then we wanted to have.
I think we had 4 costume changes that day.
Pirate outfits. So yeah, I think we did because we had like regular attire, and then swimming attire, and then Marvel dinner attire, and then pirate attire.
Boy,
it was a little exhausting for sure.
But
so if you do a 3-night sailing, know that your second night of dining will also have a pirate night. So then our last dinner was Arendelle. So we kind of had this experience of sandwiching the 2 best restaurants around the one that was not.
In our opinion, your mileage may vary.
So here's the Arendelle menu. Again, they brought it to us the night before. We got to place our order. We both did the pork tenderloin.
Yep.
Yours was different than mine because mine had more of the sauce.
They were actually different cuts of pork.
They were.
Yeah. So when we get to the pictures, they were actually different cuts of pork, which was very interesting. Because yours came from off the ship, if I remember right. There was something where yours was like pre-basted off the ship.
Oh yeah, a lot of their stuff, like a lot of their meats and stuff, were kind of like
and
pre-basted.
mine was not pre-basted. It was made on the ship in the kitchen, and so we had 2 different cuts of pork. For ordering the same thing, which was super interesting.
It's always interesting dining with Mark and I.
It is, but that gives you a clue in of how good they're doing, and once again
accommodating and
mean,
preparing excellent meals.
Just
our
working with it.
food was fantastic.
So I've loaded this up. The allergy menu, I don't think, it didn't contain the
appetizers, or you didn't
appetizers.
take a picture of it, which is highly likely given all the things that were going on that night.
Right. So I loaded up the menu again, and I put the appetizer here. So the one thing that had on the other side of the menu was their and this is their smorgasbord, because
well,
we're over
and
in
if you
Arendelle.
have been to oh my gosh, I'm so tired. What's the one in Epcot in Norway? Akershus. If you've done
Rest in peace.
well, maybe. I don't know. They might still bring it back. But if you've done Akershus, then you've had the meatballs. You've done the smorgasbord, and it's fantastic.
Yes.
And they can do those
have them on the
meatballs
ship.
gluten-free, dairy-free, corn-free. They were so delicious. So we both had the meatballs as an appetizer. And then we also tried the apple turnip soup.
Yes, which was another non-menu item.
Yeah.
So here it is.
There must have been one on the other menu, and you just didn't take a picture of it but it was the parsnip and apple soup.
Yep.
With pancetta and chive, and it was so good.
It was so good.
It was very, very different.
Yes.
Like a totally
different soup.
palette of flavors.
Yeah.
But
and you can
really
see here,
good.
here's a great
Yeah.
example. They have a carrot soup and they have a pea soup. And if you're like, I'm not a big pea fan, I'm not a big carrot fan, I get that. Guys, check the allergy menu.
Yeah.
They had an apple and parsnip soup.
it was really, really good. So that was
It was really
really
good.
tasty and really fun.
Very tasty.
Also,
Also on the allergy menu, they had this Nordic potato cucumber salad. And I think I skipped over it over here. We didn't get it. The chilled white and
I wanted
green
to try
asparagus.
that.
You did want to try that.
I think that's like the hard thing was
and
there was a lot of things I wanted to try, and it always was, and that was overwhelming because it was like
you
we
don't
were
want to
trying
order
to get
too much
out.
food.
Well, and we were trying to get out of Marvel because we wanted to do the pirate stuff, and so I mean, I'm looking forward to going on the Wish again, and maybe having a little bit more headspace to think about food and things that we're ordering. But Arendelle food was awesome. One of our favorite meals. I think.
Load it up.
I don't know. Would you say 1923 or
my steak in
Arendelle?
1923 was absolutely perfect. The food at Arendelle was fun and very enjoyable. Fun and very enjoyable.
Where is my Arendelle food? Am I on the wrong night still?
Yeah, on the wrong night
still.
still.
Sorry.
Yeah, Bahamas go
Oh
past.
yeah, sorry. Yeah, it's like the amount of pictures in between meals is overwhelming. There's a lot that we would do every day. I think that's the craziest thing about editing.
We did arrive at, so you can't be late to Arendelle because
Yes.
the show starts.
And the show is positively
Amazing.
incredible. The talent was unreal. The vocalists were
The
so
musicians
talented.
across the board.
The instrumental musicians were incredible. I mean, I'm sure you guys have heard this other places. I'm sure you've seen snippets and thing.
Awesome question, Amy.
Yes.
100%. 100%.
We will never do
We will
the early
never
dining.
do early
Ever,
dining
ever, ever. For multiple reasons.
Multiple reasons. A, it works better for us, but
Mhm.
B, if you think about the function of the ship, you're gonna want that late seating because everything shuts down. So
everything. I mean, and we have a friend that just got off the Wish.
just
and
got off the
had
Wish.
Early
She had
dining.
early dining.
And she hated it. She felt like she missed so
Things.
much.
Mhm.
And that was what was nice is we could play up until the shows would start. And on the Nassau day, no show.
We played up until 8:15
Yeah.
on her dinner,
And
which we were walking into at 8:25.
right now, I do wonder if it's different because again, our cruise wasn't full. We never had issues getting seating for the show. We would walk in 5 minutes after start time. Most nights it was running behind. And we sat dead center, same row as the video camera, main floor.
Yep.
I think that a lot of people skipped the shows on our sailing because they were doing back to back. I think that the ship wasn't as full. I also think that first show has less kids at it. Wally's done a fair share of theater. He knows how to, sit and be quiet. 90%, I mean, he's
Yeah.
still a kid. He still has a moment. But he knows how to, behave in a theater. And we're also late night people. Wally went to bed around 2 a.m. We'd follow around 3:30. So, and never an issue. And he will sleep in, but he will also get up and he will be ready to go in less than 5 minutes, no matter what. That kid is like ready for adventure. So, late dining works well for us because we don't have a kid that has an 8 o'clock bedtime.
And we come from Colorado, so it's 2 hours later anyways.
Yeah, I mean, we're still feeling like it's
Routinely,
2
we
hours
go to
earlier.
bed at 11 o'clock at night here, so that's 1 a.m. East Coast time. So,
But I think you can
what
get
it
more
is.
out of your day.
Yeah.
And if you're on, more than 3 nights. Now, we didn't have the Aladdin show because it's not ready yet. So we had a night on our 3-night sailing where there wasn't a
Nothing.
show. If you're on a 4-night, you're always going to have that as well. Like you can go to a movie, but we didn't, for multiple reasons. We didn't want to waste our time going to a movie. And B, we want to pay to go to the movie so that we get the Disney movie reward points because we're so close to that VIP Burbank tour. So, but yeah, I mean, I just think late dining is the way to go.
Yeah.
I think you can get more out of your day. And then you also, like, the shows are only an hour. And they're real intentional about that because they know it's families on board and they have kids. And so they're like 45 minutes to an hour. And so the show ends.
and you can go still do stuff.
It's like 6:45, 7 o'clock.
Yep.
And you still have time before dinner.
I mean, one night we sent Wally to the kids club.
He went to the kids club for an hour. We went and walked around the ship and went and picked him back up and went to dinner.
Yep.
So you have more time to do activities.
Yeah.
I think if you do the late dining.
Yeah, because everything shuts down.
And even like if you want to like get dressed up and take photos and look nice for dinner, you could like go to the pool all day and like, still have on like a pool cover up and go to the show and then still have time to go to your room and shower and change and take pictures before dinner.
Yep.
So that's our 2 cents on it. By the time you get to like 8, 9 o'clock, most of the activities and things are kind of done for the day. And then, the adult lounges and shows like that start to happen, but they don't happen till like 9 or 10 o'clock. So you can still do the late dinner and then you can go do all the fun late night stuff. Wally would go to the kids club and shut him down at midnight every night.
Literally, he told us, do not
He's
pick
like,
us up
do
early.
not come early.
So,
I want to stay until they close.
so much so, I mean, I think the second night the staff figured it out and they didn't text us till like about 5 minutes before they closed.
Well, I think it's an automatic text that comes.
No, because it's not the same time, so
Oh,
it's manual.
okay,
Someone
alright.
goes there and says,
So
"All right,
just a reminder, we're
just
closing
a reminder,
in
we're
15
gonna close."
minutes. But yeah,
but the last
so-
night it was like 5 minutes. We're gonna be closing in 5 minutes. We're like, "Yeah, we know."
Yeah.
And we walked up and we're like, "He doesn't want picked up till you guys close, so you better go
Right.
tell him you're closing."
So I don't know.
I know
I
the
think-
hitchhiking bones are going to go
Yes.
live. I want to get through all of ours so we're in one.
Well, and the other
one
thing I want to
coherent
say,
video.
Amy, for the late dining, the other huge benefit of late dining is you get second breakfast.
Yes,
So
that
the
last,
last
day.
day when you are up all night packing and you're not ready for your cruise to be over, you don't have to go to breakfast until 8:15 a.m. People who have early breakfast are seated at like 6:30.
Yeah.
Who even is awake at 6:30?
We weren't.
So
We weren't.
and then the other thing that's nice, we were like some of the last people to walk off the ship because we
Some of the
enjoyed our
very last
breakfast.
people.
No, they weren't rushing us out of the dining room. We enjoyed our breakfast and then we leisurely walked out. We used the restroom. We took pictures on the atrium. By the time we walked out to customs, walked
No
right
one
up.
was there. There were like 10 groupings of bags left, and
Yep.
that was about it.
So we were some of the last people off the ship, which was super, super nice. Like,
Yeah.
for that reason, I think late dining is worth it. So that's our opinion on it.
Yeah.
So last dinner, Arendelle, we had the meatball to start. It was absolutely delicious. Reminded me 100% of Akershus.
This was amazing.
10 out of 10 would recommend.
Yep. I would order that as your appetizer, far and above some of the rest of the stuff. You can actually, so I did find this is on the regular menu as a entree,
Mhm.
interestingly enough.
That
but-
was very, very good.
Yeah.
Wally got the steak, mac and cheese
Yep.
again, and mashed potatoes. This was also one that I think was surf and turf. And I said, just bring the steak. It did have a like gravy sauce on it, which I think was the same sauce that was on the meatball. So I was not sure he was going to eat it because he's very particular. But I was like, oh, look, it's special Olaf sauce.
Yeah.
And he really
He ate
enjoyed it. He liked it. So
I like Stacy's 8:15 is late breakfast. Stacy, our thoughts exactly. They do come kick you out of your room.
yeah,
So
you gotta be out of your
you
room.
gotta be out of your room.
It's one of the most brutal pieces of sailing is that last morning is early.
It's brutal.
And we were up, I think, until like
We were
4
up till
a.m. packing.
3:30 packing. Yeah.
And then had to like somehow wake up in the morning and get
Yeah.
out of our room.
Yep.
Which we did. And we were actually 10 minutes early to breakfast.
Yep. And Amy has a great comment. You did late dining, but yeah, whoever you're placed with,
Well,
thankfully we got our
We were
own-
sat by ourselves
we were
the
sat
whole
by
time.
ourselves, which was
And when we did our
beautiful.
fantasy cruise, we were with two other couples.
Yep.
One couple of which is like
best friends.
best friends. We've,
You've seen them on the channel.
Yeah.
You've seen them on
Lisa
the channel.
and Kevin.
Yep.
That's where we met them. They were on their honeymoon.
Yep.
The
The other couple.
other couple was very
Very
weird.
weird. And then we'll leave it at that.
They were very
We'll leave it at that.
strange.
Next time we are
And we
hanging out, we
learned-
can
we learned way too much about their
Way too much.
personal relationship because they did the match your mate
Yeah, that was a mistake.
and they
for
were
us to go watch that.
they were a little
Yeah.
bit too much
Yeah.
TMI.
Yeah.
So they were strange.
That was your soup.
Yeah, that was the parsnip apple
Mhm.
soup
That was
we both
amazing.
had. Yep, that was really, really
Amazing.
good.
Sorry, we're gonna click through pictures
all the
here.
things.
You can see all this stuff online. Hopefully, I don't give away too
And
much.
then yeah, so here's the pork. So this
So
is
this is
my
your
pork.
pork.
I don't know if we took a picture of your pork.
Yeah.
Well, no, that was your beef.
Well, that's my beef.
So that was also the night that they brought you both because they couldn't make him the exact same pork dish, so they made a different pork dish and then also brought him the
Another roast
beef.
beef.
because they were like, we couldn't give you what you asked for,
Yeah.
so we brought you both, and hopefully you'll like one of them.
And I ate them both.
And you loved, and the beef,
And the beef looks amazing.
It was great.
So
Yeah.
no
Yes.
complaints about the roast beef here.
And then Wally got the Olaf s'mores brownie, and he ate a bite, and then all he wanted to do was go to the kids club. So he ran to the kids club, and we actually took this to go. They were really sweet. They brought us like one of those little covers. We took it up to the room, put it in the fridge, and he had it as a late night snack after the kids club. All the rules of being a parent pretty much go out the door on a Disney cruise ship. There's a lot of sugar. There's a lot of late nights. Just enjoy it.
Yeah.
But his was looked so amazing. That was
There's
Denny.
Denny,
She
our
was our
server.
server. She was
Yep.
so amazing. There was a lot of hugs for Denny on our last night and our
Yeah.
last breakfast. She was just super, super
Yeah.
sweet. And she was like, I want to get a picture with Wally. And
Of course.
and then I had 2 desserts. So I did the apple bread pudding, which was so good. It was amazing. I told Denny, I'm like, if you have gluten-free dietary needs, diners in future cruises, 100% recommend the bread pudding.
And once again, I'm going to click over to here. The bread pudding was not listed on the standard menu. So this
Mhm.
is something very specific they created for
It was
The allergy menu.
so good. And then I also got the carrot cake. I'm
So
gonna
we'll
go back
just
to
switch
this
that.
one.
Bye.
Wally. Looks absolutely beautiful. Tasted horrible. It was disgusting at best. Beautiful presentation, not so good on the flavor. Similar to the cake I had at Adventures.
Yeah.
Just was not, whatever mix they're using for their gluten-free cakes is not good. And then the frostings just taste like just pure artificial sugar.
Yeah.
Not good. So yes, Stacy needs to hear more about the mystery
Mystery
couple. Yes.
Yeah. Next
So-
time we see you.
We'll definitely have to share stories
Yeah.
about them. They were Interesting. So, and
Uh,
then you think you got another chocolate
cake, of
Yes.
which I had about had my fill on chocolate cake at that point.
Yeah, dessert's a tough one for Mark. I mean,
They really decided I could have the chocolate cake, so they went all in.
they did. Well, and here's
on
what
that.
I'll say
And
for
you know
Mark.
what?
This is why Mark enjoys a good nightcap, a good cocktail, a good glass of wine, second glass of wine, because that's really all he gets when
It's
it
the
comes to
variation
the
I
world
get.
of like
I'm thankful I got
desserts.
something. You
So,
again, be our guest. I'm gonna smash them for the third time.
yeah.
Couldn't even put that together,
Yeah,
and
just
they
like
brought me a
nothing.
plate of like nothing.
Yeah.
Literally, we have nothing for it. Not even the fruit.
To leave this off.
Yes,
So Arendelle was
amazing. And
It
I
was
feel
so
like
good.
I could see the show again, even though I've seen it.
absolutely I would see it
The
again
musical
because
talent in that room that night.
I think this is the clip.
Yes, we have to share that out, and then
this
this
is
is the
what
violin.
this is what we will end with. Incredible. Oh, and then we also did not have the animatronic Olaf
Yes,
during our show. We had character Olaf because I guess the animatronic broke, and so they brought out the like character Olaf, which was fine. But it would be cool to see the animatronic.
Yeah.
So next time.
Yeah.
The thing about Disney, there's always a next time. All right, so we're gonna leave you guys with this, and we're gonna send you guys all over to
Hitchhiking Bones. They are live, Will and Dawn.
I think I have another clip of him. But anyway, he was absolutely incredible. Like the talent at that restaurant just
The talent
blew
in that
us
room that
away.
night was unbelievable.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
from that standpoint, I would do Frozen again. We do have plans to do another Wish Cruise. I won't go too far into that because it may or may not be a surprise for somebody.
For some little one who sometimes watches our video.
Yes.
Sometimes.
So we do plan to go on the Wish again. And we've already said that we would probably skip the Marvel dinner. But definitely would do 1923 again. And I would love to do Arendelle again. I'd love to do Ashante though in place of Marvel. So that was our experience. That's our takeaway. I mean, no major complaints, and nothing that I would say is a fallacy.
I would
to the
actually
Wish.
say I am quite pleased with the allergy food selection on the ship.
Yeah, well, I think that
and
it's
now
a
that
little
I know how to
convoluted.
navigate it,
That was a lesson learned, and I'm very interested to see how that translates into the classic ships.
Yep.
If that is the same experience that we have or not, but yes.
So we did not get a chance to try any of the specialty restaurants.
not.
We've been to Apollo on other ships.
We've done dinner at Apollo on the Fantasy.
The thing to know about the Wish is the number of concierge rooms has doubled.
Mm-hmm.
And so your ability to book them. Plus, we were on the DVC cruise, and the number of people with the black, I've cruised more times than I can even count anymore.
But I've probably been on a
lanyards.
ship longer than I've been on land.
Yes, was immense. So we had no chance to go there. We really wanted to try an Ashante brunch.
Because we wanted to do all the rotational dining, but
Yes.
everybody, of course, wanted brunch because they all wanted to
do the rotational dining on a
dining.
3-night cruise, and you have 3 rotational dining stops.
So
you can't do any of the specialty runs.
Goals for the future, and next time we get on the Wish, we will be gold.
The tough thing will be we will not know what our Marvel night is. So how are we going to book it?
That's gonna
so
be,
I think I've got to
just
call.
book it every night.
I'm just going to book it every night, and then when I get on, I'm going to cancel the one that's not there.
So yes, so Stacey, they do have. So they have Apollo and they have Ashante on the Wish, and the difference with Apollo on the Wish is, I believe, they have steaks. Like that was the addition to
Okay.
Palo, was that they added on.
Steaks.
I mean, I think they had a steak, but they added like a whole line of steaks.
Ooh, a line of
So
steaks.
they kind of
like
plussed it up as
on
a
a plate?
steakhouse, I
like
guess.
you could,
Well, I don't know, maybe. But
if you want to spend,
I mean,
you can do whatever you want.
we did Palo for dinner on the Fantasy, and from what I remember, it was absolutely
It was
amazing.
amazing.
And then we did Remy
for brunch.
for brunch on
Yep.
the Fantasy, and Remy's, you know, they're French style.
So enchanté.
So now they have
Enchanté.
enchanté on the Wish,
Yes.
which it was beautiful. We walked up and we looked.
So the last
and,
day, you're gonna have to wait.
Mhm.
You have to stay subscribed. Sorry, we're gonna keep you around a little bit. On the last day, we literally went through and caught up on anything that we missed.
yeah, and I don't know how much of that I'll leave in the vlogs.
It's fun. We
I
have to
mean,
leave
some
it.
of it. But one of the things we really try and do with our vlogs too is like we want them to be these like actual family memory
memories,
capsules. So like
yes.
we cut a lot out of our first day because we did a whole tour of Senses Spa, but it was like we didn't do Senses
If you guys
Spa.
want to see Senses Spa,
Go to
WWNT's
somebody
got
else's
it.
channel.
Yeah.
They're gonna have way better coverage.
They might have actually gone to it.
So
versus
I
the
mean, and
tour.
that's the thing. Nobody's coming to our channel because we have the best coverage
Yeah.
of all the
We
things.
do posting tomorrow.
Yes.
An exclusive.
I think, you know,
The
I haven't
Taskmaster from the
seen
Kids
that.
Club. I haven't seen anyone get it
I
yet.
haven't seen it anywhere else out there. And it is
So,
the full entire show.
the
So
full
if you
entire
are a
show.
Marvel fan and you want to see what that is like, it was a really cool experience. And Mark did a really good job filming it. Like
Yeah.
he was very steady and really captured the whole thing and kept his Markisms to a
To a minimum.
minimum.
Did not call the
Black Panther, when he came up, he's King.
King Mufasa. I was
Yeah.
like, I am surprised I did
Didn't
not
say
say
King
King Mufasa.
So he did a pretty good job. I will say that. But it is a good video. So if you
Yeah.
like Marvel, go check that out. That'll be posted tomorrow morning. And then sleep dependent, life dependent. It's a busy time of year for us right now with like back to school, for me working in K-12 and for Wally finishing up summer and camps and activities and getting ready for back to school, doing the best that I can in getting things edited and out. Yeah, King
Mufasa.
I was actually like watching it.
You were watching it
and
going,
just like
"Oh,
waiting. And when
he's gonna-"
I was like, wow, Mark, good job. So
if you've been around me at any point in time, you know that it just, that kind of thing happens.
Yeah.
It comes. King Mufasa.
So check that out tomorrow. Stay tuned. We'll have lots more Wish
Yep.
vlogs coming. I think just in looking at how much content there is, they're
Next
probably
week-
going to be chopped up because there's a lot.
Next week, Wally's going to talk about kids clubs, right?
I think so.
I think so. If we can get him
Um,
corralled.
Yeah, we wanted to have him come on and talk about Kids Club. We're going to talk about kind of entertainment in general
Yep.
on the ship. The
So you'll-
lounges.
you'll have
We
seen
were
that.
going to hopefully talk about lounges and drinks tonight, but that didn't even happen. We got to talk about that. We got shows and entertainment. We got the Kids Club. We got just navigating the ship and general tips
And we
and
got all this
pointers.
merch we haven't even talked about.
We have a
yet.
whole merch haul to do. So
More Wish content coming your
yeah,
way.
I mean, we'll be doing this for a while, I guess. And then next week, right? Next week,
Next Tuesday, the 9th,
following this, so we will have to end.
we will have
promptly.
to end promptly.
We will be over on Hitchhiking Bones.
Yep.
So we'll be talking about the Wish over there as well. So make sure you hop over there right now. Sorry,
Yep.
we're getting you guys over there 20 minutes late, but go give them some love. Check
Yep.
out their stream. Don and Will are just awesome humans.
Yes.
Their stuff's really fun, and it's just kind of a fun way to stay in the Disney bubble as long as you can.
So we got to
soak it
keep
up.
ourselves short next week. We'll try.
We'll do our best.
I could be on one stream here. You could be on one stream there.
No.
Yeah.
We'll wrap
keep
it up
it
in
wrapped.
an hour. But food was a big one.
Yep.
And I think especially
Because there's not much
having-
out there.
well, and having the food allergy insight is
It's
and
huge.
kid. We had kid
Everything.
and all
Us.
the food allergies. So it's a very different perspective on dining, and it's not just like gluten free. It's the whole gamut of
Yep.
complicated food allergies. So, but overall, I would say Great experience. You know what else we didn't even talk about? Well, maybe we'll talk about next day, but all the Mickey's Festival of Foods.
We didn't even
talk about that because that's the other like quick service dining on the ship.
It's same fact there. I mean, we can just.
I would say it's way better.
It's way better.
Way better than Marceline.
It is way better than Marceline, and it's also way better than any other ship. That deckside quick service dining.
It was great.
Was
they had
amazing.
pizza?
Again, go find the allergy person.
Yeah.
Walk around.
And
Go find the allergy
we have
person.
a full tour of that coming up in a vlog, but
Yep.
it was barbecue, which was very good. He ordered a
I
barbecue
mean,
plate.
we have really good barbecue here. It wasn't really good Colorado barbecue. It wasn't really good Texas barbecue, but I'm on a cruise ship in the middle of an
was good.
ocean.
Yeah.
That is good barbecue.
And then they had
And Wally loved their
pizza.
mac and cheese.
Yep, and he'd get the mac and cheese from the
Yep.
barbecue place, and then you get the chicken tenders from the like American fare, cheeseburger chicken tender place, and then pizza. Oh, they had a Mexican like it was like tacos,
Build your own taco bar?
burritos, and bowls.
But
And
they
that
made
was
Wally
really
a
good.
bean and cheese quesadilla
Yeah.
somehow.
Yeah, they did. They have like a kind of a refried
Yeah.
black bean, and so they did that with cheese, and he loved that.
Yeah, Stacey,
yes,
you're right.
Well,
You're right.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot to be
We
said. for that.
won't be going back there in a while. Sorry.
But yeah,
Skip
the
our
Festival of Foods was fantastic. That
Yep.
was a huge.
And they also have a hamburger and
upgrade.
hot dog place. We didn't even talk about that with the chef.
Well,
'cause,
no,
I mean, it was
but
just a
Wally
plain
would get their
hamburger.
chicken tenders
They
there,
got
and
their
then the
chicken
ice
tenders.
cream. And so I mean, the difference, for good or bad, the Festival of Foods and Marceline was all served to you. It wasn't like take and go, which requires
You had to
more
talk to someone.
staffing. I don't know. I mean, it'll be interesting because they're trying that model out on the Wish, which I think is partly influenced because of the pandemic. I mean, I think that was an informed decision that they made to say, gee, let's put this process in place. But I also wonder if it is a cost savings because, and I mean, I did feel terrible about that when he brought out that plate of seafood. I mean, I ate 5 out of the probably 30 shrimp that was on that plate.
Yeah.
And I felt terrible, but I didn't want 30 shrimp. I mean, even when I go through buffet lines, I get like 2 shrimp and 2 crab legs.
That's
I
the
don't-
one thing when you're doing the ordering food
Yeah.
from a grab and go place, tell them like keep the portions under
Well,
control.
and they do. So when I got things, they were very portioned.
Yes.
It was like if you got asparagus, it was like you got 4 asparagus. You could ask for more. But I wonder how much of it is pandemic influenced
Yep.
and how much of it is
Cost
savings rationing influenced.
Yep.
Like even the ice cream. 'Cause I know like a lot of people go through a lot of ice cream on cruising. Actually, is that on this one or is it on something else that we have? I think it's on my bag.
Yeah.
Goofy eating all the ice cream. But it's you can still do it. And actually, they made Wally a triple twist cone one day because
Did
he
they
was like,
really?
I want chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry. He's like, I can
Yeah.
do that. So he like did a layer of strawberry, and then did a layer of chocolate, and then he did a layer of vanilla. So
Cruising is amazing.
it is
Just letting you
amazing.
know.
I
Cruising
mean,
is amazing.
it's the one thing is that like nothing's off the table and you're not paying for the food. I know Aileen and Jeremy didn't make it on here tonight, but that was a question Aileen had was around like drinks and stuff. And like, so all of your food is covered. The only thing you
Except
pay
for
extra
specialty
for,
restaurants.
unless you do Palo or Ashante, but even those are like a prefix number and
Yeah.
it's pretty reasonable. It's like $40 a person.
Yeah.
Don't quote me on that, but it's not crazy. So it's like you just pay an upcharge, but it again is like you want 5 appetizers, you want 3 entrees, you want 7 desserts, whatever. There's no additional charge for it. But you do pay for coffee, smoothies, and slushies.
Yeah, there was one night Wally ordered something that
He got a
they
smoothie at Arendelle on
At
his last
Arendelle.
night, and he drank the whole thing.
leveled that sucker.
But those are extra and alcohol. So, and if you do concierge level, alcohol is included in the
At the
in
concierge
lounge,
That's it.
but not at meals, and obviously not in the lounge.
So if you got extra $6,000 and you want to do concierge, I mean, you can get
Someday we'll try concierge.
Yeah.
I mean, if you time it right, you can book, during bargain season
yes,
in hurricane months.
yes.
You could do concierge for $3,000 probably for 2 people. Then it might be worth it.
Yep.
But yes, you pay for coffee. Not
Well, not
so
straight.
if you get drip coffee,
Drip
like
coffee
they
from
have
the pot,
they have drip coffee in the morning at on 24/7
24/7 on the deck.
on
yeah.
the deck, and then Marceline. And if you get coffee like with dinner, like when we got coffee with dessert our first night at
No
1923, that's fine. So if it's just like
Black
black coffee with
maybe
cream,
some almond milk or
there's
something.
no charge. But if you want like a latte,
Latte.
or a cappuccino or things like that, there
Yeah.
are different coffee bars on the ship, and
Yep.
that is extra. So, and I think you can even order coffee drinks at dinner as well.
And that would be extra.
But if you just do like plain old black drip coffee,
Yep.
there's no charge for that.
Yep.
So, but those are the things you pay extra for. And like I said, we brought on 4 bottles of
2 bottles of wine or 6 cans of beer per person.
per person. So we brought 2 bottles of wine, 2 bottles of champagne.
And enjoyed them.
I will say we finished them in a 3-night cruise.
May or may not have brought wine and turvises to Arendelle last night.
We did. We brought,
So when you see the turvis on the table, you know that sucker's full of wine.
I was like, we have a bottle of wine left to drink. This is our last night. Put it in a turvis. We're bringing it to dinner. We're not paying for wine. So, and they don't. I mean,
no,
they don't bat an eye at
No,
it. I mean, they
no,
don't. Yeah.
Our guys didn't care.
No, they don't care. I mean, I don't think they're making a whole lot extra and
No.
selling you on a glass of wine at
Yeah.
dinner. The people that are paying for drinks are paying for drinks.
Yes.
So us not ordering a glass of wine because we brought on a bottle is not impacting them in any way. And I will say that I do appreciate that they don't push that on you.
Yes.
They're not like, do you want to drink? Have you seen this cocktail? I think if you,
I mean, Jen would ask
if
me
you
every
prompt-
night
yes, if
because
you-
I did it the first
yeah,
night.
and if you prompt them and if you ask them,
Yeah.
and if they know that that's what you want,
Yeah.
they will work with you on that. But otherwise, they're not pushy about it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think that's all the food.
Yeah. We'll get into the lounges another night.
Yeah.
So
Because we have had some fun
we had some fun at lounges.
experiences at the lounges,
All right.
including the bird butt.
We did that last time.
Yeah. All right. So head on over to Hitchhiking Bones.
Yep.
We're getting you over there super late. Sorry.
Sorry.
We're gonna try and keep these streams to an hour, but there's
This
a
was
lot
an
to
important
talk
one to get
about.
through for us.
Yeah.
For us, for everyone else who's in our camp, we know it's not out there. So
Yes.
and yes, Amy, we did not spend 5,000 on the Star Wars
We did
drink.
not.
So
Someday,
sadness, you will not see that
maybe.
in our vlog.
I told Mark, I'm like,
It's actually a decent deal.
what I would love more than anything is to just like have enough money someday to like tip all of the, the stateroom hosts and our food and beverage
Tip
team.
your
like,
staff more
just
than
throw
they
in a couple
recommend.
extra $100 for them. Like I would love,
Yeah.
to be at that level.
These people work their tail off,
because
and they are certainly not paid
really
enough.
they're amazing. They go above and beyond. They care so deeply. I mean, you're with them for 3 days.
Yeah.
And they feel like family at the end of the cruise. I mean, they knew our allergies, they knew Wally, they knew, they take time to like talk to you and to share stories about
Even a 3-day cruise.
their life. Yeah, in three days when it's, go,
Bing,
go.
bing, bing.
And they go back to back. So they have early dinner, they clean that whole dining room, and then they flip it over and they're ready for late dining. And early dining's at 6 and late dining's at 8:15. So there's not a lot of time in between there to flip and those dining rooms are massive.
Yeah.
So
So that is the deal with if you got the $5,000 Star Wars drink, you would get
Mhm.
admission for 4
for 4 people.
to the Skywalker Ranch, which is not open to the
Mhm.
public.
Yeah.
So
So Stacy, that's a really good question. That were you seated with other families?
we
So
were not.
we were not. And I will say even the tables we were at, and I was kind of looking around and trying to analyze that. The tables that we were at too were like tables for 4, and
4.
there was tables for 2.
Mhm. Yep.
So I don't know if that's against
A
something.
COVID thing?
Well, I don't know if it's that or if it's because the Wish is kind of meant to be their premier
Mhm.
upscale luxury ship that they anticipate there's going to be more like couples coming on board and less
Well, again, they designed the
families?
ship. They designed the Wish to extract as much dollars from people as possible. So you're going to get more couples. And I would say Arendelle, we were seated at our own table, but you were breathing down the next table's neck
Oh,
because they were
yes.
long
They
lines.
were-
They were long lines. So this is actually the table right next to
The fact
us
that so many people have come off the ships with COVID is not surprising.
is not surprising.
You are very
Yeah.
close in.
Yeah. I mean, you can
multiple
see this.
settings.
She's not zoomed in at all here on this. This is how close we were to
Now
the family
there was
next to
nobody
us.
sitting at that table. I think are they
There's
left
nobody at
or
this end table.
yeah.
These guys were here. We were
Mhm.
here, and then there was no one at the table next to us on the
Yeah.
other side. So
But yeah, I mean that was our experience. We always sat by ourselves, and we are a family of 3, which is always unique too. Like we're not 4. So
again, when we were on the Fantasy as 2, they put us with 2 other couples.
we were 2
for a
other
group
couples,
of
so we were a
6.
table of 6. Now, that's another thing I would say if you're thinking of going on a cruise. One of the benefits, if you're thinking of going on a cruise as a couple, one of the benefits of doing a longer cruise is even though we had weird table mates, they weren't there most nights
True.
because you have 7 nights. So every ship has 3 rotational dining.
Yeah.
Every ship across the cruise line, Disney Cruise Line fleet. There are 3 restaurants. And so you will go through a rotation of 3. And then once you've done 3, you start over. What they do is like, if you're on a 4-night sailing, the 4th night is pirate night.
Yep.
If you're on a 5-night sailing, there's usually a, like a fancy dinner.
Formal night.
Formal night. Thank you.
Yep.
Like what's that word for fancy? So then you have like a formal, and then if you're on a 6, 7 beyond, I don't know. I think they just kind of
We
go.
skipped dinners. I mean, that's when we
Well,
did.
yeah,
Apollo.
and when we did the fantasy on 7 nights, we ate at Animator's Palette twice.
Yep.
The first time is like the show where you draw the characters and they come alive. The second time was a different show. I think it was just kind of like Disney animation.
Yeah.
So it's different. And this is my wondering about Marvel, because if you have more than a 3,
Well, again, it's
or
only a
4
4-night
night.
thing, and this is on a 3 and 4 night rotation.
Right.
So the 4th night's going to be pirate.
so I
night.
don't know like
Wherever you're at, it's going to be
if
pirate.
they'll
night.
ever go beyond a 3 or 4 night, if the ship really is just designed to be a 3 and 4 night
ship.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's one thing I would say is if you do go as a couple, I would go for a longer cruise, at least 5 nights. Because then you're probably going to have nights where it's just you, or it's just you and another couple at the table.
Yep.
But it's something to think about. If
I don't
you
think they're
want-
going to put a couple with a family.
No. If
That-
you go
that
as a
certainly
couple,
will
I
not
think
occur.
absolutely
You could
they're not
get
going to be
placed with-
like, we're going to put this random couple with this family of 4. I don't think that will ever happen to you.
Yeah.
But I do think that they will do, 2 other couples at your table.
Yeah.
So if you want to have a romantic dinner for 2, not a romantic family dinner,
No.
but a
Romantic dinner for 2.
then it's something to think of. But then I would pay for Paulo, I would pay for Ashante,
Yep.
I would pay for Remy, depending on what ship you're on.
Yep.
It might be worth doing something like that.
Yeah, and
I don't
we'll see
know,
how
yeah.
these Triton class ships, how they
Well, because they've got 2 more coming.
they've got 2 more coming.
but
So
I think it's going to be a while.
you can't do them all on 3 and 4 night rotations. So
Yeah.
one of these suckers is getting ramrodded somewhere else, and
We'll
we'll
see.
see. We'll be
how
on it. knock on wood, Godspeed.
I mean, I will say that having done the DVC sailing, our hope is to do the DVC inaugural sailing for the next 2 ships
Yep.
as well, because it was such a wonderful experience. Like, whatever.
even though it was
things
delayed,
weren't
even though stuff was
perfect.
canceled,
Yeah, it was.
even though it was still a
it
shakedown cruise, and it was in
amazing.
every semblance of the way,
Yeah, but it was
still a shakedown cruise. We were
was
shaking
ama-
that ship down.
it
But it
was
was still
amazing.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's our hope. And then we'll be gold, maybe platinum. We'll see. I keep going like, Mark, look at this cruise. Mark, look at this cruise. And he's like, no, we're not adding another one on. We already have.
Let me load up a GoFundMe here, hon.
Right. So we have, Mark's like, just wait to share it and we'll do like a whole vlog about
Wait,
it. But
just we got to end this. We got to get people
we have
moving
3
along.
more. We have 3 more. So we've like fallen in love with cruising. So we'll be doing lots more. And
I love cruising.
it's really
I always have.
awesome. So
Cool. All right.
okay.
Thank you all for joining. Any new friends who've shown up on the replay, we appreciate that. Hit that subscribe button and bell icon. You guys, before you head out, make sure you hit that like button.
Yeah.
Share this out to any of your friends that you know heading on the Wish. Again, very valuable information for everyone, not just allergy diners, because there's stuff that you can get on the menu that's not listed.
Yeah. And I think even if you're not needing it,
If you want that apple bread pudding
it was
at
really
Arendelle,
good. It
that
was
stuff's
really
amazing.
good.
According to
It
her,
was
I didn't have it. I had the little chocolate cake.
good.
Um, So yeah, share this out to your friends. Thank you all. This is the wonderful world of Walter.
Who's being really quiet.
Actually, we should check on
I
that.
know. All right. I love you guys just the way you are.
Bye. Head on over to the
Yes.
Hitchhiking Bones.
Head on over.